very good afternoon wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to the Gabriel TV. And today I'm privileged to be joined by Duncan Oenga, who is an aspiring Secretary General in the School of Education here in Maseno University. I will just give him time to introduce himself to the Gabriel TV.
Thank you so much, Gabriel, for inviting me in this platform. I'm very much happy because of that. As you said, I'm Oenga Duncan Mogikoyo, a third-year student in the School of Education, pursuing mathematics and chemistry. I'm an aspirant for the Secretary General seat in the School of Education.
Thank you very much, Duncan Oenga. You are an aspirant. Can you tell us briefly your leadership journey?
My journey began long time ago, and I happen to be a firstborn at home.
Wow.
As they say, charity begins at home.
No, I'm also a firstborn.
Oh, that is really good.
Yeah.
So when my mother could leave me my younger siblings,
I understand.
I used to mentor them. So that is where I can say my leadership journey began. And then secondly, when I went to primary school, I served as a prefect in the lower classes. And when I was in standard 8, I served as the head boy. By then you are referred to as the president.
The president, yeah, I remember before they changed.
Yeah, that is in Nyamage Primary School. Then thereafter, I joined Agorosare Boys High School. I also served as a sanitation prefect. I was the chairman of the Young Farmers Club.
Ukulima.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I've also served as a guidance and counseling practitioner while still at Agorosare.
Thank you very much for that. Kwa hivyo tuseme sasa ni upcoming mwalimu. Nikuite mwalimu Duncan.
Kabisa, thank you.
Alright, now let us get started. Why did you decide to vie for the post of Secretary General in the School of Education?
Yeah, it has been my dream to make the environment for the comrades, in particular the members of the School of Education, a conducive environment for them to be able to achieve their dreams. Yeah. It happened that there are challenges that actually these colleagues of mine, including me, that we are actually facing. It happened that I wanted to be a member of the SOMO officials. I even made an attempt to apply, but there was an X in my transcript. So I couldn't apply, and even if I had to apply, it could not be passed because I would have not been qualified for that seat. But thereafter they reverted it and I actually got my results. So I really felt like the system is actually depressing some of us, and there is something that
I understand,
and there is something that needs to be done. So that is why I came out of the mantle to fight for the rights of my colleagues. Yeah.
All right. So now you'll be vying for the post of Secretary General. What are some of your manifestos?
Yeah, number one manifesto is an issue dealing with excess. And X is actually a dominant problem that is facing all of us. But nobody needs to be blamed. We don't even need to blame the system administrators because this is a problem at our disposal and we need to assess it with great minds. Actually, this is an issue to deal with a system. And whenever a system is being developed or whenever a system gets to incur some problems such as an X, it means there is communication problems. The interfaces are not able to communicate correctly. And there is no day ever since I came to Maseno that I've ever been consulted on how the system is working. I've never been consulted. In UCI 202, computer-based information system, whenever a system is being developed, all stakeholders need to be involved. And the student is actually part of that stakeholder.
So you want to be involved in the system management in Maseno?
Yeah. So
how?
So that they come to the ground, they ask us whenever you peep into the student portal, which are some of the challenges do you incur? What is actually happening whenever you try to register for the semester and maybe units? So what do you think we can do so that we are also part inclusivity in system modification so that we can do away with problems such as excess? It's possible. It's only a matter of involving the School of Education students. If we break down Maseno University, we can break Maseno University into a single school known as a School of Education. And whenever the School of Education problems are catered for, then I'm pretty sure that every other problem in any other school shall be solved. That is why I'm doing
that. Can you tell us your manifesto in brief? Just rush on them very fast.
Then another point is on HALT. I've realized that so many colleagues of mine have been on HALT list. not because they have more than 4 E's in their transcripts, but because they have issues to do with stray units and maybe some things to do with excess. Somebody should only be on an alt list as a result of having more than 4 E's and above, not on the expense of having an X or a stray unit. And that one is actually something that I'm going to deal with. Another point is on semester registration. It needs to be extended to allow time for those that have not paid fees so that they can pay.
You're talking about semester registration paying fees, and but I think it is free. Semester registration is free, but when registering for units is when you are supposed to pay for 50%. So why should it be extended and it is free? You're given a whole week to do it. It's free of charge.
Yeah, there are colleagues who've not even paid a single cent. Actually, they have a total fee balance of the entire semester. They don't even have that 50%. And these are the people that we should cater for. It could be because maybe...
But that is on the part of unit registration?
Yeah, unit registration. It needs to be extended, especially unit registration, so that they are also involved in that system, so that their exam uploading is made easier and faster. Because if we limit that time, then it means there are people that we are leaving out, which is not good.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Just continue with some of the manifestos.
And then we have things to do with, the School of Education is the most highly populated school here. And you normally realize that we encounter problems like insufficient seats. Voice amplification is also a problem. So I'm looking forward to seeing how can we provide sufficient seats for the teachers. How can we try to amplify voices in lecture halls like in Docha Hall, Lecture Hall 15, some of the largest halls that we have around here. And then I have another issue to do with talents. As a Secretary General, you need to be very overall. And you need to cater for some skills and talents that I've seen colleagues of mine bringing up. Skills and talents are part of the core curriculum in as far as I'm concerned. And therefore, these people need to be promoted. They need to be encouraged. We need to organize for school-based, education-based school events so that we can capture everybody under a common roof, share ideas, collect views, and do things like socialization, and that is what now we call learning.
All right.
Yeah.
So how are you handling stiff competition? Is there stiff competition, or you are one man army?
I've heard some other people are going to apply. Will be about more than 3 or 2. But I have lived in an environment of competition, and I'm just okay with that one. I believe in competition, and I actually like competitive environment because that is what promotes good leadership.
All right. And why should the students choose you and not any other person? Why you?
Actually, I view myself being the best because I believe in my communication skills. Solving any problem depends on how you attack it, how you communicate with lecturers. Even the system itself needs to be communicated to in a proper manner. Whenever you use a computer or a phone, if you button wrongly, then it means it's not going to communicate. Also, I believe in my communication skills. I have good rapport with my colleagues, and I'm pretty sure that we are going to work harmoniously with them. The top administrators of the School of Education, the system administrators, the learners, and then things are going to be better.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And on that, where you just said that there will be elections in the next 3 weeks. How is voting done?
Voting is normally done physically, whereby there shall be ballot papers and the ballot boxes put in stations within the university. Not unless otherwise, maybe they introduce some online stuff, but there before we've been doing the physical mode of voting.
So there are no delegates?
No delegates. Every member of the School of Education will be able to vote as a member.
Thank you very much. And as we finish the show, I would like you to tell your supporters, your friends, something about why they should choose you come the elections.
Yeah, I would wish to tell my supporters that I'll never let them down. And in case they vote me in and I let them down, I'll be available, and I'll allow them to crush me to the ground, because there's no need of I selling my manifesto and telling them to support me so that I get into that office and spantle them to the ground. I'm telling them I'm the best ever Secretary General that they can trust, and we will work in harmony with them to ensure that there is a positive transformation in as far as the credible proceedings of the School of Education are concerned.
So, to all teachers, natumai mumesikia Mwalimu Duncan amesema, na wakati wa kupiga kura usimsahau.
Asante. Thank you so much.
Yeah, asante sana Duncan kwa kuungana nasi hapa katika The Gabriel TV. Yeah. And that marks the end of our interview with Mwalimu Duncan. Thank you for viewing. My name is Gabriel Mwakoma.